Welcome back, folks, with me, Phil Turrell. We're playing Crash Bandicoot Warped on the Crash Bandicoot N-Sane trilogy.
Activision presents a smashing blast from the past.
Thank you, Aku Aku.
Developed by
My vicarious visions. I don't think I showed this part on my Crash 2 playthrough, but Jesus, I forgot how crazy the graphics and polygons were back in the day. That nitro should have blown up. You can't convince me otherwise. Especially upgraded nitros in this game. It's like the equivalent of a wood chipper, but for graphics. And coming out squeaky new on the other end. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and get this adventure started on the N-Sane trilogy. Because I still absolutely do not want to play the original Crash Bandicoot because it just sucks. It's gotten better in this version, but you couldn't get me to do this of my own free will. I guess maybe you could, but not right now. We just got done about, I don't know, over a year ago playing this masterpiece. I would like to play that again, but no, we got to play this masterpiece. Warped! And this game, quite a awesome game. Actually, hold on, one memento. Okay, there we go. I fixed a little bit of a setting right there. But anyways, we're going to get started with Crash Bandicoot Warped. This is actually my very first PlayStation game I ever got for myself, way back in the day. But anyways, let's get started. New game. Start a new game. We'll override the auto save. Yeah, override that thing. Okay, I'll stay silent for this part.
Free at last. Uka Uka is free? No, it cannot be. Evil, great evil has come. None have dared fail the great Uka Uka even once. But you, Cortex, you have failed me twice. Great Uka Uka! It was that infernal Bandicoot. From deep inside my deadly prison, I sent you simple instructions to follow. But you lost the gems, you lost the crystals, and I have lost my patience. There is now no other power source left on this planet. I know we've had a few unfortunate setbacks. And failed. But since your bumbling has managed to set me free, I am feeling generous. There is still a way to amass the power needed to enslave this miserable planet. And this time, the great Uka Uka will make sure that you do it right. After many eons, my evil twin brother, Uka Uka, has been freed from his underground prison. Long ago, I locked him there to protect the world from his malice. Now, free once again, he must be stopped. Children, Uka Uka and Cortex plan to use this time-twisting machine to gather crystals that lay scattered across time. I have brought you here to recover the crystals before they do. To open the time portal, simply stand on a button and then jump into the portal. Good luck.
Alright, so that was a pretty awesome intro. One thing I've always liked about this intro is it's so much more animated than the previous one in the PlayStation, of course. But what would be funny is if Coco and Crash and Aku Aku warped into this warp room as Uka Uka and Cortex were arguing. They're like, ah! What are you doing here? Ah! that kind of stuff. Anyways, I find that kind of humorous. It's a kind of a bit of missed opportunity. But anyways, just like Crash Bandicoot 2, there's a warp room. So we only have access to the first warp room. We have access to second, third, fourth, and fifth. As you see, they have their own little kind of motifs. Because we're time traveling this, you know, what could possibly go wrong with this? But so we're gonna be in the great oldie era with Toad Village, and then we have Under Pressure, because you know we're under pressure in this playthrough. Orient Express, can't make fun with that, and Boneyard. I feel like this playthrough is a bit of a boneyard. I'll explain why, because we're making waves with this playthrough. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, Toad Village, and then we'll get to see what Dr. Cortex and UKA UKA will say.
Crash, crash, crash. Why must you always muck in my mud? Oh, look! I have a mask helping me, too. We will find out which one is more powerful soon enough.
UKA UKA's face says everything in that picture. Anyways, so Crash Bandicoot 3, quite the fantastic game. It looks so beautiful. Compared to, well, Crash Bandicoot 2 looked really good, but Crash Bandicoot Warped, you can tell they put a lot of love and care into this game, because just the graphics and the way everything looks. But going back earlier to what I was saying about this playthrough being under pressure and everything, so I actually recorded this game all the way, and I basically 100%ed it, minus the one relic that you have to get for, I think it's all platinums you have to get, and I'm not about that life. But I didn't quite like how the audio sounded. The mixing didn't sound quite right, so I'm hoping this one sounds right, because it was very bad. Oh, I didn't mean that. Now, I guess I wouldn't be having to worry about that if I wouldn't be talking about past mistakes, huh? Anyways, let's take out this night. And I would say out of the three, obviously out of the three, this is the easiest out of the three when you compare it to the likes of Crash Bandicoot, the first one. Crash Bandicoot 2 is a little bit harder than this one, but not by much. But you have a lot more toys to play with in Crash Bandicoot Warped as you get through it, so there's that. And the gems are not quite as crazy to get in this one. And what I mean by that is in Crash Bandicoot 2, you had to figure out convoluted paths to get to certain secret levels. Like, for example, in one particular level, you had to slide jump over to the polar bear in one level after you left it behind, and then in another particular case you had to beat the first level without breaking a single box. And in the original one there was no hint about that, whereas in Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped you didn't have anything that crazy. The only thing that's crazy here are the two bonus levels that are literally just bonus levels. You don't need them to see the true ending of the game, and those are pretty out there, of course, but you don't need them. The first one is, I think it's on the motorcycle level, where you need to ram your bike into an alien head, and the other one you have to be taken up by a pterodactyl. But other than that, Crash Bandicoot Warp's a pretty tame game. There's nothing too crazy about it. That's what I like about it. So we get all 42 gems, and we're gonna go back in the warp room and collect our goodies. And as usual, Crash is probably going to, he's going to take his crystals and gems out of his autonomy, or body autonomy, bodily anatomy. There we go. And he's going to do his little dance. So, anyways, that's the first level, and we can go under pressure because this is the next level. And there's a lot more different types of levels in Crash Bandicoot 3. A lot more unique levels. You're not just playing as a normal platformer game. You can also swim with the fishes, hopefully not in the bad way. Cortex isn't exactly the mob, but then again, we have, I forget the name of the mobster in the first Crash Bandicoot game. It's Pinstripe something. But anyways, he's not in this game, so we don't have to worry about the mob taking out Crash. But yeah, in the water levels, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. You do have a button to accelerate. You can swim a little bit faster. You can get the gem in this one. And in my previous playthrough, I actually messed up and didn't quite get a box that was right here somewhere. If I remember right, it was down this tunnel that we're about to go. Not this one, but when we descend. But a lot more, man, this level's a lot more beautiful than I remember too. A lot more prettier than the original one. A lot more detail. Anyways, I digress. I forgot what I was going with this. But anyways, taking out all these boxes. I actually missed one way up here, I think, in my previous playthrough. But another neat thing here in the water levels, we can get these little, I won't call it a jet ski, but that's not really what it is because we're under the water. That's Coco's vehicle, which we'll talk about Coco in the next level. But in every water level journey, there is one of these, I don't know what to call them, just going to call it a jet ski. But you can shoot torpedoes, you can boost, but I would suggest not boosting unless you're doing a time trial. So when you boost, you go like that, but when you go into one of these smaller tunnels, your little jet ski will be destroyed. Ooh, that was close. Almost had the electrifying. Ah, that freaking eel took a chunk out of me. At least that eel's not as creepy as the one from Super Mario 64. That one's freaking creepy. I could hear Miss Two Real grumble at that word. But just go ahead and blast all these boxes, and you don't have to worry about it. Torpedoes would do all the job right here. But the levels are so much more varied in Crash Bandicoot Warp, and I'm so grateful for that because I love Crash Bandicoot 2, but there's really only three different types of levels, and one type of levels at the very last hub world, which is the jetpack levels, which those are hit or miss. I did like it for the variety, and then you have the on rails one with the polar bear, and then you have the normal platforming levels, which make like the other 90% of the game. But Crash Bandicoot 3 Warp, you have that water level, you have normal platforming levels, you have jet ski levels, and then you have another on-rail level, but with Coco. So Coco tends to do the on-rail levels, the Orient Express, about half of them, and then Crash gets the other half. But the tiger, is it Puma? Is it Puma? I forget what the name of the tiger is. But the tiger replaces the polar bear here as the animal that you ride. And you can run, or you can go slow. If you're not trying to get the time trial, I would just recommend you going slow unless you absolutely need to speed up. Some cases you will need to dash, but if these barrels are here, you can dash through them and break them. The little dragons, you should go avoid them. Now here you have an upper or lower path. I'm going to go down this lower path because that's where I see the boxes, and that's where I'm going to go and smash these boxes. This first level is pretty tame. It's not very difficult. But if you do miss a box, you could always, have Coco fall off the Great Wall of China or ram herself into an enemy. That way you can, die and restart the level. But right here, jump because there's no boxes, and don't jump to your death like I did. Anyways, let's try it again from the top. And if I die multiple times, I'll just jump cut to where I don't die. Okay, so break these three, go, and then we're gonna break these two. Ow! I actually didn't see that dragon. But hey, at least Coco doesn't die in a very horrible way like Crash does. The tiger just lands on her lap. At least the tiger doesn't try to eat her. Alright, jump. This. Run. And a good thing about Crash Bandicoot Warp is they give you a lot of extra lives, or at least the ability to get a lot of extra lives. So I don't think I've ever gotten a game over in Crash Bandicoot Warp, but let's not jinx this playthrough, shall we? Because that would be horrible. Let's go this way, break this, break this. There's nothing up there, so we're going to jump. Go down here to the bomb path. I thought for a second I was going to catch that ramp. And we're almost done. So jump right here. It's 51 after 51 boxes, so we should get the box gem. Alright. There's a good kitty. Thank you. And even meows. Let's go and deliver these jewels to the time twister. I was going to say time portal. The time twister. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. I don't really want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it for the sake of doing it. Since we have to get the relics grown for completion, the levels I can get the relics for pretty easily, I'll go ahead and get them. Later on in the game, you're going to get the speed shoes. At the end, once you beat the game the first time, you get the speed shoes, and they'll make getting these relics a lot more easier. So I'm going to go ahead and get this for Orient Express. I'm going to have Future Phil actually speed this up. I'm not going to talk on this part. So I'll catch you in a minute, folks.
UKA UKA and Cortex want tiny get crystals and bring them to big Colosseum in Rome. Crash! Leave them for Tiny, or Crash get crushed!
Okay, I lied. I'm gonna talk this one part here. Crap! You gotta hit that clock. Let me die first. That was embarrassing. All right. So, grab the tiger. I just missed that freaking clock again. What the hell? I'm jinxed because my wife is laughing at me. Thank you, Miss Two Real. Anyway, so grab the box right here, and it'll start the time trial. And then all you gotta do is just make it to the end without dying. And if you die, you don't lose any extra, you don't lose no lives, so don't worry about that. But you do absolutely want to hit the yellow boxes to stop the clock. That way, you can actually freeze the time and get the best relics, which are generally going to be platinum and gold. I might get a few platinums, I might get more golds and platinum, but the majority of them are going to be sapphire, because I could care less about the actual completion. Ow! Anyways, I'll go ahead and see side now, and we'll see you at the end. And with that, we get our first time relic, a gold relic. I'll just say AAA, you know, because that wasn't triple A run. No, it wasn't.